My number 2 is Dale Earnhardt. Mainly, I almost didn't have him on the list, but as far as racing goes,
he was it.
He was
it.
Yeah, and I mean, he was towards the end of his career, but Dale Earnhardt was still NASCAR. I mean, you thought
he'd
of
still be racing now.
Right.
10 years later, yeah, he'd still be racing.
You're probably
absolutely
right. But you know when you thought of NASCAR, I mean, obviously there were older drivers, but Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt were the first two that ever popped in anyone's head, or Jeff Gordon, but that's mainly because everyone hates him. But Dale Earnhardt was NASCAR. He was the face of NASCAR. Whether you liked him or didn't like him, he was the intimidator for a reason.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the way it is.
Anytime you get somebody to sort of get out of your way by just the side of your hood.
Right. Yeah, you're going to have to get out of my way now.
Is that a 3 behind me? Oh, some bitch. I'm getting out.
I'm going to go ahead and wreck myself.
David, I saw an interview with Dale Earnhardt Jr. where they talked to him when Earnhardt Sr. and him were racing around. I guess Jr. kept bumping into him. And he goes, "Richard, you tell that boy he bumps me one more time, I'm going to park him." Meaning he's going to wreck his own son. That guy's okay in my book. No, beat your kids.
Don't beat them. Just run them into a wall. It's different.
How's that not child abuse, man? He put his son into a wall to about $180.
Well, you got to learn.
Apparently, killing your kid and hiding her for 31 days isn't child abuse either. But
True.
We digress.
Let's not open up that can.
I digress.
Let's not open up that can of worms.
You're number 2, sir.
My number 2 is Len Bias, another huge college star, huge talent.
Doesn't know how to do cocaine.
Another person that doesn't know how to do cocaine. It was
Rookies.
bad. It was bad. Like, they were calling certain strands of coke Len Bias.
Ooh.
I was like, ugh. Like, no.
You know where to get that at. I'm just kidding.
Shush. But, yeah, I mean, it was sad that, like, it was his first time ever doing it, but
whatever. I mean, it's still, regardless of it, he was supposed to be, like,
the next Jordan.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be Jordan. And, I mean, drafted by Boston, and this was when the Celtics, like, they were past their twilight. Bird was on his way out, or maybe even gone by then. I'm not sure. But, yeah, that hurt the Celtics for a while.
Yep.
And he died in 86. So
86. Yeah, Bird was still around, but he was on his last legs, literally.
Bird would have got him one more title in 87.
Whatever. The city of Boston doesn't need any more past to gloat on. So, but that was tragic.
My number 4 is one.
2.
My number 2, I apologize, Mr. Derek Thomas from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Almost had him on mine.
Just wonder if the Buccaneers never made it to St. Louis for an NFC Championship game, if he would have made his route.
Yep.
Probably still going anyway. It was the greatest show on turf that year.
Derek Thomas, died going to the
6
game.
sacks, one game.
On an icy road. It's a shame. I was very upset when he died. Like,
I was
literally
he was,
upset.
He was an
I
animal.
was upset.
Yeah.
He was Ray Lewis before Ray Lewis.
He really was.
I
I think he still holds the NFL record for most sacks in a game.
Well, I think
he got 7.
Was it 7?
7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, someone should have probably been blocking him. Someone was missing their assignment.
Well, guess what? The sad part is somebody probably was blocking him, and he was
That's
like, "Get the shit out of my way, please."
It was rumored that the defensive coordinator pulled Derek Thomas and stopped blitzing the people because they were tearing him up that game.
Ooh, that's bad.
Ouch.
But yeah, he was a really good player.
That he was. My number 1 is Wes Leonard. He was a high school student who died this past year after making the game-winning shot to cap off the undefeated season.
Oh, yeah, that's sad, dude.
Ended up dying on the court celebrating with his team. Turned out he had an enlarged heart, and, that
sucks.
I mean, you want to talk about, like, roller coaster of emotion for everybody. I mean, you are at literally, like, your highest high, and then you are dead, literally at your lowest low.
Go from Everett to the abyss in a
Yeah.
matter of minutes.
I mean, for everyone in the stands, his team. I mean,
The whole
you
city.
would imagine his family's in the stands. I mean,
Oh God!
That's
Do you
just-
know how their parents must have felt? Jesus.
Yeah.
good Lord.
And I mean that's high school like kids too. As
Yeah.
well. Like that's not like oh man, it's a tragic about a sports star, but yet this kid's surrounded like nobody really knew much about him. So like imagine the people in that court, they all knew exactly who he was.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
like a football player, a baseball player. He
Like-
played like every sport imaginable.
Like people in the crowd probably broken bread with the kid. You
Oh,
know?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
That's
Yeah, just
that's
that.
a real tragedy.
Like
there.
that's why I made him my numero uno.
yeah, that's pulling at the heartstrings there. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm getting a little steamy now. My number one is Pat Tillman. Obviously, if you don't know his story, you must be under a rock somewhere.
You were hiding out with Bin Laden.
But yeah, Pat Tillman, he was a damn good safety for the Arizona Cardinals, and I believe back in 04, 05-ish.
It's 2004.
Yeah, God, I'm good at time frames. But he gave up his NFL career and millions to go serve our country, and
him
was
and his brother. They
Exactly.
Both joined the Rangers.
Army Rangers. So you know he's a badass. Army Rangers, they don't play. Like, they're up there with
Their mottos are Rangers lead the way.
yeah. But he was killed in the line of duty, and sad. I mean, dude was crazy talented. Probably could have made it to a Pro Bowl or two. And hey, he died saving our asses. So definitely can't forget him.
No, you can't.
You're number one, sir.
My number one is going to have to be one Thurman Munson, one of the toughest SOBs you would ever see to play a sport,
Damn right.
any
Yeah.
contact sport.
I don't even care if he's a Yankee or not.
If you ran him over and he got back up and you stood up in his face, now you're going to a boxing match with the man. Whether you were out or safe.
I didn't know that there was a boxing match at Yankee Stadium tonight, but it's all good.
Yeah, him and Carlton Fisk, man, they blew heads forever. But when he died in that plane crash, even Carlton said he one of the hardest people you'd ever meet shed a tear.
Sure.
They were arch nemesis. Red Sox, Yankees, both catchers, both captains. They're at each other's throat on a day-to-day basis, or game by game.
Fisticuffs.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, God, my dad told me that story a long time ago. He's like, that was one of the best Yankees you ever see play.
It's the only Yankee I'll root for.
Yeah.
Once you go there, you're damaged goods. I
Right.
don't care if you're an all-star or not.
Well, that is it for this week's top 5. Sorry for bringing up the old bad news,
But
sad
I mean,
news.
there's
It has to be done.
There's a bunch of names that like Flo Jo, Bobby Phills, Chris Henry, Reggie Lewis, Lorenzen Wright. There's tons and
Yeah,
tons
I mean,
and tons.
this
of-
could have been a 3-hour segment. To be
Oh yeah,
honest.
I mean, you got to remember the people too. Tragedy happens to everybody, and you can't forget about them. So.
Our topic for next week, even though the women did not win, I want our top 5 U.S. moments, sports-wise. It can be any sport. It doesn't have to be soccer, but, like Dream Team.
You just said it.
Right?
Men's soccer, women's soccer, just top 5 U.S. sports moments.
So you get patriotic.
Yes. Exactly.
That'll be on there, I'm pretty sure.
So that's what I want for next week's top 5.
Gotcha.